So the Switch Lite, it's out in about, 3 weeks now? Less than that. And people are really looking forward to the Switch Lite, myself included. I'm going to be getting a couple of them, and we'll be breaking one down. I'll keep the other one to actually play on. But we're going to take a look inside because while we're excited for the system, there's also a lot of concern about the possibility of the analog sticks that are being used to be prone to drifting, similar to what's happening with just regular Joy-Con controllers. Now, of course, if your regular Joy-Con controller now drifts, you can technically go buy new ones and still use your Switch. But the Switch Lite has them completely attached, so if it starts drifting, you either have to perform surgery on your actual main system, or you go buy a whole nother system. And what's really funny is people started sending me messages about Switch Lite sticks already being sold, like the replacement sticks. We've done work here in the past on different Joy-Con controllers with drift, where we just replace the whole stick. Well, we're going to take a look at this because, yeah, it looks like they're already being sold, and wouldn't you know it, I ordered one. So let's take a look at a Switch Lite stick, apparently ahead of the Switch Lite release, and see if there's anything to look forward to here. First, though, we're gonna take a look at our sponsor for the video today, which is Torchlight II. After releasing on PC back in 2012 to critical acclaim, Torchlight II is now making its way to consoles on September 3rd. If you're a fan of action RPGs like Diablo, you have to give Torchlight II a try. It's a dungeon crawler filled with randomized levels, enemies, and tons of loot to find. Panic Button handled the game's move to consoles, so you know this is a quality port, and at $20, it's easily worth picking up. Torchlight 2 supports full LAN and online play with friends, and even supports native voice chat for the Nintendo Switch, so no phone app required. The move to consoles also brings exclusive pets for each platform to check out. Pre-ordering the game will also unlock a free Yapper pet for your game. Perfect World also provided several copies of the game to give away for the Nintendo Switch, so head on over to my Twitter post and enter to win a copy of the game. Once again, thanks to Perfect World for sponsoring the video, and make sure you check out Torchlight 2 when it releases September 3rd for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Okay, so check this out. This is from Deal4Go, an original replacement analog stick with thumbstick cap button module for a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controller. Upgrade version removed from Switch Lite. And that should concern a lot of people right away, because if it's being removed from the Switch Lite and sold for the regular Switch, that would, I guess, mean that it's the same stick. Now, I do kind of think, and this might annoy some people, I think it is going to be the same analog stick. Now, will it have the same issues? That is really hard to say. And the reason I say that is because while the mechanism inside could still be the same, it is very possible they have been upgrading the internals of it to be more resistant to flaking and getting false readings of the analog stick moving, and that turns into drift. So this was $10.90 prime shipped. Now, there's also the possibility of what we're seeing here to them just changing the top cap off to white. But I hadn't really seen too many like that already, so who knows? I mean, they say it's being pulled from a Switch Lite. Maybe they have access to the parts early. However, I figure we could take a look at opening it up, and maybe inside where we have the actual traces and everything. Remember, we're starting to get some indicators as to number and letter. So I know one of the first ones I did, because we did it in a video, was, I believe, 3C. The last one that I did on the brand new Switch is 5E. So if this is also 5E, then that tells me it's like the exact same stick. What I'm kind of looking for is, I guess, the number after that. Maybe it's like 6F or something. I don't know. But as long as it's not 5E and it appears to be kind of heading upwards, maybe they've done something to it. So they sent it to me in this brown box, pretty straightforward, bubble wrap, and then a bag. And taking a look at it right away, it is pretty much the same analog stick that I took a look at in the new Switch. Similar design all the way around and everything, minus the white cap, obviously, which makes me believe that this would work in your Joy-Con. So I assume if you want to just take this and switch out your sticks, if you have a plan for like a color combination and you want a white stick rather than a black stick for just to kind of match the overall theme, there you go. This probably will work, I would assume. Anyway, opening these up is really, really annoying. I've already been over all of this. You have to pry one side up, then the other, and then the other. Generally, I have either some sort of tweezers set up. I have a really nice flat tweezer set here that works to really push these up. And once you get that open, you'll have the spring and all kinds of stuff fall out. But I can finally get to the part that I really want to take a look at, which is like the traces and the pads on the bottom. And here's the interesting thing. It is a different number. It's 6E. So remember, originally we saw 3C, 5E, and now 6E. Now these could also just be indicators of parts in the factory, but it's also very possible that as these numbers possibly change and increase, maybe the materials or the designs on here also changed. Now I went ahead and just kind of played around with it, scratched it a little bit to see, and you still get flaking, but I'm not really sure, and this is kind of the issue right this second. I'm not 100% sure on if this will start drifting over time, because it is going to take some time to scratch away at those pads with kind of the metal inside of it. And that's the biggest issue right now, is we don't actually know, and it's going to take time. Same with the new Switch. It'll be very similar, and that's 5E, and I'm not really sure, again, how resilient that is to the movements and the false readings, but it does appear that the parts inside are changing, and this is definitely not the same analog stick inside when it comes down to the part number as the previous ones. So it's very possible that what we are looking at here is indeed a Switch Lite analog stick. And we'll know, of course, when it actually comes out, right? When the Switch Lite or the Switch Lite comes out, we'll tear it apart and we'll get a look. If that's also 60, that's gonna be really weird, by the way, that I was able to get an analog stick before the Switch Lite, if that is the case. Unfortunately, those FCC filings and patents did not show anything where the analog stick connects or how it's situated, but I've also seen listings for 2 of these on different Chinese wholesale sites and everything. So this might be it, and if it is, that's going to concern some people, but we'll see. So interesting stuff there. However, I guess the one good thing is the analog sticks are $11, so they're not terribly expensive. I think for 2 of them it was like 16 or 17, and it's really going to come down to how hard is it to change the stick out. But that's going to do it here for me, guys. Yes, it looks like 6E appears to be, anyway, the latest when it comes to the internals on the analog sticks, and I'll be curious to see if they are changing anything inside to make this more resilient and less prone to drifting. Unfortunately, it sounds like time will tell when it comes to that. But thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, and make sure you subscribe for that Switch Lite teardown, because that is going to be very interesting to see what's going on in there, and I'll see you guys next time.